Yeah.
2023 flying by.
Facts. All gas, no brakes. Yo. Welcome back. Welcome back to another episode of the Man to Man Pod. I'm one half of the pod, Darius Butler. Got my co-host, Antoine Bethea.
What it do? We got the whole government today.
What I usually say, it's usually
AB.
I think it's usually Antoine. Come on, man. Come on,
AB,
man.
but hey, look, I ain't mad at it. What's going on, man? How's your morning going?
Hey, morning going good. I haven't got my 30 minutes in just yet, but I will right after this. Head right to the golf course, then to the gym right after that. What about you, man? How your morning going on this beautiful Thursday, March 9th already?
Going good. You know, I got my 30 minutes. I got my hour in this morning. Got the little ones out the house. So far, so good, man. Sunny day here in Charlotte, North Carolina, man. So ready to get on this pod, man, and talk some ball.
Yeah, it's a beautiful day out here too, man. It's been hot all week. I see some snow and some storms around the country, but it's been beautiful down here in South Florida. It is Pisces season too still. 9 days away from the kid's birthday, about to crack, 37. That's just one of them random years, one of them random ages. It's like 37? Damn. 37. 37, man. But I feel good, man. 40 might be the new 30. We obviously got a lot to talk about. Quarterbacks, you know, that's usually the topic of conversations in the league that we cover, the National Football League. A lot of talks around the quarterbacks. We obviously spoke on a lot on Monday.
Yeah.
And then kind of right after we got off, I feel like a lot of these dominoes start falling. With these quarterbacks, obviously Danny Dimes, your guy, he got some money. Derek Carr signed with the Saints. Lamar Jackson was tagged. And then we heard from all the insiders around the league about the different players from the different teams. So definitely going to jump into that, man.
You can't forget Geno Smith.
Geno Smith got paid, deservingly so, out there in Seattle. Obviously, you know, it's going to be talks around these quarterbacks in the draft, who goes where. Nobody really know kind of until we get much closer to draft night. But plenty to talk about per usual. And, you know, this time of the year, we get a lot of feedback, a lot of questions from the audience. Had some good questions on Monday. Hopefully we do the same today, man. Anything else before we get to this intro?
No, man, that's really it, man. And then there's some interesting talks on ESPN, man. Kendrick Perkins and JJ Redick going back and forth, man.
Yeah.
You know, I want to get your opinion on that. You know, I think, you know, both guys played in the league a long time.
Yep.
Obviously differences of opinions, everybody entitled to their opinion. But interesting to see, you know, two guys on the network. So yeah, we definitely gonna touch on that when we get back.
Yeah, for sure. I enjoyed the banter. We're gonna definitely get into it, but I enjoyed it. Just locker room, a nice little locker room argument, conversation, discussion.
Sure.
I love to see it, man. But we'll see y'all on the other side.
Yes, sir.
Sir, here we go. Back at it again.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We already got a good question, man. G.I. Joe 317.
Question.
317. This is a good question, man.
Damn good question.
Y'all got to do some research, man. Go and look up big hits. Who hit harder, AB or DB? Good question, man. Good question, Joe. We'll get to the bottom. We'll figure it out at some point. What's good, though, man? What you want to jump out with?
Hey, man, let's jump right into it, man. Danny Dimes, man. Danny Dimes, G-Man.
New York.
Inked his deal. Agreed to a 4-year, $160 million contract. And obviously, you know, you look on Twitter, you look, you know, on TV, you know, a lot of people talking different things. Was he overpaid? And here you go, in Rappaport, got the details. It's 4 years, $160 million deal, $35 million more in incentives, $82 million over the first 2 years, $94 million virtually guaranteed at signing. First year cap number is around $19 million. Man. And for the people that don't know, as players and as agents, what you want is your money front loaded. So you want your money in the first 2 years. So in a 4-year deal, if I can get as much money as I can in my first 2 years, that's great. And here you can see he gets over half of his money in his first 2 years. So
yeah, 94 virtually guaranteed at signing. However that deal breaks down. Sometimes you go into that second year, and then once something happens, the $10 million from the third year, something like that, is guaranteed. That's why you see, when it's decision time for these teams to cut somebody before or after a certain date, things like that happen. And this is business, man. This is the market. Obviously, a lot of people look at this deal and say, whoa, Daniel Jones. I would never pay Daniel Jones, $40 million a year, et cetera, et cetera. But it's business, man. You don't get what you deserve in this world. This is real life. It's not only just football. In this world, you get what you can negotiate, what you have the leverage and the ability to negotiate. And that's what Daniel Jones and his agent was able to do up there in New York. So getting this deal, I think this was a good deal. I think it's a good deal for both sides, honestly, because you obviously been rooting for Daniel Jones and saying like, hey, I still think he could be the guy up there in New York. I wasn't necessarily sold on him. I still think it's a lot more room for him to grow.
For sure.
But I think this is a solid deal. It didn't pick up the 5th-year option. Basically had to bet on himself and had a good year. A lot of people look at it and say, hey, he only threw X amount of passing touchdowns. He only did this. That team was productive. That team took great steps under a new coach. That team won a playoff game. And he's still young, too. That always factors into these deals. You're not only paying for what they've done, but what you expect them to do. So Brian Daboll, obviously, they got a bunch of money to spend to put a good team around them. But I think this is a good deal from both sides, from the Giants and Daniel Jones right here. How you feel about this one?
Man, I tweeted that, when it came out, and it was like, man, I think this is a solid deal for both sides. Knew Danny Downs wasn't going to kill the bank. But again, as an organization, you got to sit back and say, okay, where they drafting at? They're drafting at what, late 20s in this year's draft. Is there going to be a quarterback that's going to be there at that time that we feel like can come in and do a better job than Danny Dimes?
Yeah.
But I would say probably not. Maybe, you don't know, but you know what you have in Daniel Jones. You bring in Brian Daboll. Now Daniel Jones will be able to have him for a second year. As you mentioned, it's definitely some room for improvement for Daniel Jones. But again, they have a lot of money to spend this offseason. So bring some extra pieces into that team and you see where it can go. And again, a lot of people saying like, man, how does Daniel Jones get paid before Lamar? I think we all in agreement where Lamar Jackson should be getting paid, and he should be getting paid more than what Daniel Jones is getting paid. But what Daniel Jones and what his agent and what the New York Giants were able to do was able to come to a conclusion. And that's where Lamar and the Baltimore Ravens are having some differences of opinion. But again, I think this is a good deal for both sides, man. So and a 4-year deal too. So Daniel Jones still young, so he'll be able to see the market again. If he plays well.
Yeah, if he plays well, if he outplaying this deal, I'm sure it'll be some other suitors, and maybe the Giants will be ready to lock him up again. And when this free agency or before free agency, your team kind of sets the tone and sets that precedent for what's going to go on with your negotiation. Obviously, you've been seeing that going on with Lamar Jackson in Baltimore for the last couple of years now. They haven't been able to get on the same page. A lot of people have had opinions on it. I know we have. A couple years ago, last year for sure, hey, Lamar shouldn't do this, that, or the third before he gets his money. Yeah. And people have they take their own chances. Hey, we went out there, he's gonna bet on himself, had a great start to the year. Things didn't finish out well. Obviously, he was hurt. They weren't playing that great on offense. So now we're in a situation where, once again, your team kind of sets that tone. And with Lamar, he obviously did not get his deal. He got they threw that non-exclusive tag on him, and we were talking about it on Monday. For y'all that don't know, the difference between the money, I know it's 32.5 for the non-exclusive. I believe the exclusive was closer to 50 or 40, north of 45 or something like that.
I think it was in between 40 and 50.
Okay, so obviously a huge chunk of money in difference. Yeah. And then once you sign him to that exclusive tag, nobody else can come in and negotiate. The non-exclusive is different. Teams can come in and negotiate a deal. Ravens will have the opportunity to match said deal or trade Lamar and get 2 first-round picks in exchange. Now, we talked on Monday. We said, hey, they've slapped that non-exclusive tag on him. He's out of there. There's no chance he's gonna remain a Baltimore Ravens. Team's gonna be lining up to throw those 2 first-round picks and be ready to guarantee Lamar Jackson a deal that he wants. But then once the tag was put on, we saw the Panthers, I believe the Dolphins,
the
Falcons, Panthers, Dolphins, Falcons,
the Raiders.
I think I saw something today that said Raiders weren't necessarily completely counting him out.
Yeah.
Or pursuing Lamar Jackson and other quarterbacks. There was a few teams.
It was 5 teams for sure. It was 5 teams.
Matter of fact, I'm going to find these 5 teams.
You said Panthers, the Falcons, the Commanders. At the time, it was the Raiders.
Commanders? They came out and said it too?
Yeah, the Commanders said it. And then it was one more team.
Yeah,
and the Dolphins.
Yep. Falcons, Dolphins, Panthers, Commanders, Raiders, teams that will reportedly not be pursuing Lamar Jackson for a deal. And I believe the Falcons went as far as having a report written and put on their website and tweeted it out saying that, which a lot of people around the league, people that cover it, journalists, a bunch of players, former and current, surprised by this. How did you feel on the news, not only him getting the non-exclusive tag, but then the following leaks and sources that came out from the different teams about their plans for Lamar Jackson?
So I wasn't as surprised as the non-exclusive as I was the 5 teams coming out an hour or 2 after the Ravens announced what they were going to do, because I feel like the non-exclusive franchise, I think as an organization, it's like, okay, well, we're having differences of opinion on the number, right? Whatever that number is, the guaranteed number, whatever the case may be. So I feel as though the franchise said, okay, well, we're going to put this non-exclusive franchise tag on you, and we'll see what the other teams come back with. And then we can go back at the front office and say, okay, this is what we're willing to do, or this is what we're not willing to do. So I wasn't totally surprised on the non-exclusive, but I was surprised as hell on the 5 teams that need a quarterback. 5 teams that desperately need a quarterback. So
Falcons, Dolphins, Panthers, Commanders, Raiders. So
the Commanders, y'all were all in on Carson Wentz. Gave him the bag quick, but then as soon as Lamar, like, oh, now we good on that. Like that baffles me. The Raiders, like, okay, you let Derek Carr go. Like, okay, you might be waiting in the draft. You might like one of the quarterbacks, thinking one of the quarterbacks in the draft can fall to you. Okay, cool. The Dolphins, you're not sure what tools, the availability of Tua. I know Tua taking some judo classes to learn how to fall or whatever the case may be, but still, like, getting Lamar in that building with those weapons that, the Dolphins already have, man, and the Falcons, like, the shit baffles me. And we talk about collusion, and obviously, is one of the things, like, we have to prove that these teams are talking to one another. You'll be a damn fool if you don't think the owners are talking at their owners meeting about Lamar Jackson, this situation with the Baltimore Ravens and all this guaranteed money. So again, man, like, this is something that I think inevitably, I think we all know what's going on. A lot of people are talking about it, like the owners don't want to pay that guaranteed amount of money. Should they? Yeah, I think they should. Yeah, I'm always going to go for that. I'm always backing the players. I'm always backing the players being able to get as much money as they can get. So for the team to come out as fast as they did, saying that we don't want Lamar, I call bullshit.
Yeah, that was beyond, and obviously to be damn near close to impossible to prove the collusion, unless these, they still emailing each other what their thoughts are. But you got the combine, obviously the Super Bowl, all these different, league meetings, all these different times where ownership groups and front office and agents and everybody get together and get on the same page about these things. And then it gets tougher for a player to kind of break out of where that market has capped them. So I think the Ravens, and once again, this is a negotiation that's been going on for some time now. And I feel like the longer, negotiations go on, the less likely it is for, in this situation, the player to win. They're going to get a good deal, I think, in the end, but to win and get closer to what they want, I think the longer it draws out, the tougher it is. But yeah, all these people, the Ravens knew exactly what the market was going to be outside of them once they slapped this non-exclusive tag on them. And then it's some things that factor in. So from the Ravens standpoint, from the business side of things, it's a good move for them because now they get to, you obviously, you still have his rights for the next 2 years, I believe, if you want to slap back-to-back franchise tags on them. And now you get a chance for, okay, because once again, your team kind of sets that precedent. Hey, unless it comes out, hey, we offer them 45 a year with X amount guaranteed. Like your team sets that precedent. So now they tagged them to 32 and a half. And it's like, okay, if somebody else, you want to find a better deal out there, go and find one. If not, you'll be back here. But I hate to see it. Obviously, the injuries, I'm sure they're holding that over his head. Haven't finished the last 2 years. I think his offense that he's been playing in has held him back, has held his progression back as a passer in the league. We know he can throw the ball. We know he can pass the ball. He can pass the ball coming into the league. Obviously, he's led the league in touchdown passes a couple of years ago. But this offense, a lot of times it'll be 3rd and 9, and they'll have 12 or 13 personnel on the field. That's one running back, 2 or 3 tight ends on the field. Right. When the rest of the league in those situations, it's an 11 personnel league. Number one, first and foremost, you look at the 2 Super Bowl teams, even the Eagles, as much as they ran the ball, that was an 11 personnel dominated team, which is 3 wide receivers on the field. The Ravens wasn't running a bunch of that at all. That offense is not sophisticated at all in the pass game. So I think that hurt him from the standpoint of a lot of teams around the league or coordinators or whoever may say, hey, there's limitation on his passing ability. And obviously his injury. And I think the agent part comes into it. And as this draws out, I think the agent becomes, or the lack of an agent becomes a little more important because once all these conversations are had and not the mix, and that's kind of what's wrong with the ecosystem in a sense too. The players represent themselves, especially when you're dealing with the dollars in that quarterback world. The players represent themselves are put in a bad spot, man, when you're going up against these owners. But I don't think.
Do you think him having, if he had an agent, do you think this process would turn out different? Because I don't think it would.
I think so.
Like how? Because again, the agents work for the players, right? Yep. So if Lamar's sitting here saying, hey, this is what I want, this is the guaranteed number that I want, because I'm pretty sure, when Darius Butler was up for free agency, you sitting down with your agent and your agent's kind of going over the landscape and say, nickel market, DB market, safety market, whatever the case may be, this is what it's looking like, and then obviously you got to be, as a player, you got to be real with yourself. In free agency is tiers, right? Yeah. Tier 1, tier 2, guys that's going to jump off or whatever the case may be, right? So Lamar having an agent, he's sitting down with his agent saying, hey, this is what I want. Now the agent, he or she is there to give you sound advice. Say, hey, you might be chopping at the bit a little bit. Like, look, this is kind of where I'm thinking that we should go into, right? So how do you think the agent would have this picture looking a little different if that's what Lamar decided to do?
Well, I can't tell you exactly how, obviously, and you probably got more insight to this now with the things you've been doing and it been out in the combine, for example, the combine. So when we both dealt with free agency and we knew a lot more coming out of the combine than we knew going into it. Like, okay, what the market is, who's doing what, who's thinking about what, who really got their eye on you, because all these conversations, that's really a lot of these things are about networking and who's in what rooms and the things that are happening in the under like these teams, these GMs, these ownership groups, these agents, these insiders, all these people are not reaching out to Lamar. Lamar not tapped in with that ecosystem. And once again, this is what's a part of what's wrong with the ecosystem. And not only just players, even with just, for example, myself doing some different things in media. Once I hired an agent to handle some different things, the conversations and the information I was privy to changed because of, hey, I've been working with this network for 15, 20 years. So I know this person who's been there and that person called me and told me this and that person told me that. So yeah, it's going to be different with an agent like that. Now I thought Lamar, once you're dealing with that top, like a reset the market type deal, which I feel like Lamar put himself in that space based on his play. Agents, I feel like, should become less important. If you're at the top or the bottom of the market, anywhere in the middle, obviously the agents get you more, get you less. But if he had an agent, would he have a fully guaranteed deal, more or even close to Deshaun? Probably not, because I feel like that was just an outlier type situation. But I think we would have been talking about around a $200 million guaranteed type deal with an agent. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong. And because I also feel like these owners, decision makers, etc., also don't want to set a precedence making these type of deals with the players directly, because the agents, they play a part in everything that goes on as well, as far as cornering the market, good and bad. So, but the reality of it is, I think Lamar had an agent that will be closer, or maybe even possibly have a deal done. Is it that Deshaun Watson deal? Personally, I don't think so. I don't think we'll even see that. I don't think we're going to see that with Joe Burrow. I don't think we're going to see it with Herbert or whoever the other next guys up. I don't think we see that deal again, at least in the near future. But hopefully I'm wrong.
Yeah, so I only feel that way because to your point, you touched on it. I feel like definitely agent, guys agents are important. Agents are important. I don't want to, sit here and say that agents are important, but I just feel like in Lamar's situation, being the top guy on the market, like what we're talking about, like the market set, Kyler Murray, Russell Wilson. It was A-Rod. Now we got Daniel Jones. Now we got Derek Carr. Now we got Geno Smith. Like, it's not hard for me. Like, and you've been in it too. It's not hard to negotiate, right? You got 6 quarterbacks that that I just named that got their deal done. My deal should definitely be more than Geno Smith, to be more than Daniel Jones for Kyler Murray. Let's sit down and have a conversation. Again, negotiations it should be that easy, but it's not.
Yeah.
Again, it's like every relationship, it got to be some type of compromise on both sides. But in my eyes, when you're that guy, you're the number one guy in free agency at your position, it shouldn't be that hard. So that's why I say, like, I don't think Ravens say they wanted to get it done, but how bad did you really want to get it done? I don't think an agent could have helped this situation for real.
I feel like the Ravens want to get it done, but at the same time, the Ravens don't want to overpay what the market is. Now, you look at some teams and them paying their quarterbacks. Usually, this happens, especially MVP caliber quarterback. The teams, this is done before they even get close to hitting the market. A year or two left. Russ got his new deal before he took a snap with the Broncos. I think he still had 2 years left on the deal, the big deal that he signed in Seattle. So this usually doesn't happen this way. But as we know, situations are situational. Once again, I'm not saying what's right or wrong. I'm just saying what I see as the reality of it. And then with Lamar Jackson and his play style, there isn't a consensus around the league. You know enough of these decision makers. You know enough of these play callers. There isn't a consensus that amongst players, most players would say, hey, Lamar, hey, that's that dude. If I get a chance for him to become our quarterback, that's the guy I don't want to play against. Yeah, absolutely. But for a lot of the people that I was just talking about, it's not a consensus that, hey, that's the dude. That's the dude I want to build my offense or my franchise around. That's the dude I want to commit $200 million guaranteed to because of his play style or his injury history or the combination of those two, or a lot. You've heard the anonymous coach or anonymous this come out and say, hey, I don't think he's this or that at the quarterback position. So you also are dealing with that part of it as well. I think what would have helped Lamar more than anything is actually having a legit offensive coordinator in there and him playing a real offense. So that kills a lot of those questions. But it's a tough situation right now for Lamar. Hopefully he comes out and has a big year. Most importantly, this
shit. Do you play season. This year? If you Lamar, if you don't get a deal,
yeah, I'm playing. I'm definitely playing. I'm not even about to play that game. I'm definitely playing. I'm definitely gonna get at minimum right now. What he getting 32 and a half?
32 and a half.
32 and a half, and then if he balls out, you right back in the situation again where the Ravens are trying to either get a deal done or tag him again. But yeah, I'm playing. I'm gonna play. Just because I done seen the guys take the year off, and I feel like most of the time that don't pan out. Get your money, play, stay healthy. I think last year he should have played hardball going into that year, but now play and get your money, man, and get more of a, I don't know, bump your worth up a little bit more. I don't know. But we know what it should be. We know what it should have been with Lamar going into it, and I hate this is another example, I guess, of nice guys finishing last almost when it comes to this business side of things, because he's been a team guy. He showed up for his team. He's done everything right from the beginning. I felt like Dak Prescott was dealing with some of this same shit. He still got paid even after the injury, so it kind of worked out for him.
Yeah.
But sometimes you got to flip that switch and be an asshole and get what you want, and then get back to the football. But it's tough, man.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see leading up, man, to the draft, and even like you said, throughout the OTAs, all season, man, just see how it pans out over there in B-more, man.
Yeah, man, we gonna see. I'm rooting for Lamar, get his bag, have a big year. Still so young in his career, has won so many games, like a 75% winning percentage or something crazy like that. It's offense, man. It's an offensive coordinator. I'm still not very excited about this college offensive coordinator I brought over, but we shall see, man. More quarterback news. Derek Carr signs to the New Orleans Saints, which right now, I would say they got the best quarterback in the division as it stands right now, where the Panthers are, where the Falcons are, and where the Bucs are right now. How you feel about this Derek Carr signing to the New Orleans Saints?
I think it's a good signing. Wasn't blown away by it.
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
I said wasn't groundbreaking. Wasn't
nah, it wasn't groundbreaking.
Don't change the landscape of the league.
Nah, not at all. Derek Carr, good dude, a good quarterback, going to a good organization, got some good weapons around him. Defense is solid. So I think it's another good signing. I don't think it's great by the stretch of imagination, but definitely a good signing for both sides. Got $100 million in guarantees. Hey, you can't be mad at it. Can't be mad at this.
Man, 100 M's again for Derek Carr. Going into his 10th season, I believe.
Yeah.
Still yet to win a playoff game. Has some history with Dennis Allen, who's the head coach of the Saints right now. I believe Dennis Allen was the head coach of the Raiders at some point when Carr was a quarterback. So obviously some history there. Got some weapons over there. Got a solid defense. And right now, looking at the landscape of that division, the Saints, as it stands right now, we'll see if the Falcons or the Panthers change their minds as far as pursuing Lamar Jackson and one of these other veteran quarterbacks. But
Saints how you right feel now about it?
Good spot. I think I'm right there with you. I think it's a good deal. I think it was a good move for the Saints. Get a quarterback. Derek Carr, I said it on here a couple of times. I just think he's inconsistent, and sometimes his highs are high, his lows are low. He's been in the league for a long time and not any playoff success. But we saw that with Stafford. Stafford went over to the Rams, obviously a much different situation and team, but he went on and had some success, won a Super Bowl. But I think it's a solid deal. I'm right there with you. Good deal for the Saints.
Put Derek Carr. Put them
things
details
did not end well in Las Vegas. So, seems like a good guy. Glad he got another shot. The Saints and Derek Carr. This is a tweet from Rap Sheet Ian Rappaport. The Saints and Derek Carr agreed on a 4-year deal for $150 million with $100 million in total guarantees per me and Mike Garofalo. He gets $70 million effectively, fully guaranteed, $60 million at signing, and another $10 million in year 3, vesting after year 1. Carr structures his deal to accommodate the Saints cap issues. So, yeah.
Yeah, good deal. Sure.
Good deal, man. Geno Smith, we talked about his 3-year, $105 million deal, I believe, after 9 seasons. Was a second-round pick. Had a lot of high expectations for him coming into the league. This is a tweet from Pro Football Talk. Deal was initially reported as 3 years, $105 million. Geno Smith's base deal is for 3 years, $75 million. The contract has $30 million in incentives and $40 million guaranteed at signing. So
I would love to see what I would love to see what these incentives are.
Mm-hmm.
I was not a huge fan of a bunch of incentives.
A lot of those, what is it? NLTBs, not likely to be earned, some shit like
right.
T's.
So I'm not a huge fan of those, but I would love to see like what are these incentives are? Is it playtime? Is it touchdowns? Is it completions? Is it get your team to the playoffs? Or
yeah, I would assume all of them. Maybe workout bonuses, maybe not, depending.
Hell no, nah. Year 10, year 11, don't put no workout bonus in my damn contract. Shit, I'm gonna work out. Like,
who knows? Sometimes they be in there. Sometimes you have a $250,000 workout bonus. You got to show up at 90% of the team workouts or something like that. But yeah, those incentives are always unique on these different deals. But
salute to Geno, man.
Shout out to Geno, man. A lot of people are still saying if there's a quarterback there in that top 5, because Seattle still picks up there, they should take it. If Richardson's there, if Levis is still there, if obviously Stroud or Young is still there as well, take it, even with Geno Smith there and the other issues they may have on that roster. How you feel about that? Having Geno sign his 3-year deal, you still take a jump at one of these quarterbacks?
Nah, I wouldn't. Sure, it's some holes on that team that we got to fill. I get it. Geno, what you said? What year is Geno in?
I believe 10.
10?
9 or 10, yeah.
I get it, but nah, man, you got some holes to fill on that team. Definitely do that, man. You got a year or 2 where you could possibly find a quarterback, come in, sit behind Geno. But nah, I definitely would not go that route.
You heard it. I think I'm right there with you.
Geno's 32 years old. He had a hell of a year last year. Nah, man, y'all go get some people, get some players, man, to put on your team to help your mob. Because I will say Seattle have a good shot of coming into next year, next football season. I will probably put San Fran 1. I will put Seattle 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then the toss-up between the Rams and the Cardinals. Who's
starting at quarterback in San Fran? Man, you got him 1.
You said what?
Who's starting at quarterback? Purdy. I don't even think he's had surgery yet.
He hasn't.
UCL, and Tommy John.
I think that's going to play a huge part. If Purdy is ready, Purdy is starting. That's my opinion.
Okay.
If Purdy is ready, Purdy is starting. If he's not, hey.
So what's your ready? So ready, we expect he's definitely gonna miss OTAs, assuming training camp at this point. So they say, all right, Purdy gonna be ready week 3. And Trey Lance, I'm not even sure what his timetable or his timeline is with his injury status, but Trey Lance taking all the reps. He looking all right. you're gonna go from Trey Lance and put
You say
Purdy
he
in
looking
there?
all right? Or he looking good? It's a big difference there, but
he looking
come on
all
and hold
right,
his clipboard. Come, if you looking all right, come hold his clipboard. But if you out there looking good, hey, look.
Drafted number 3, gave up a couple first rounders for him.
Hey, look ahead. What have you done for me lately? Last time we seen Trey Lance on the field, what did it look like? Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Young.
Exactly. In this league, we don't care about how old you are. If you're young, you old. Look, man, especially at that position, like that position, and then especially how you ended the season last year. Like you ended the season on a salty note, but I don't think people expected you to have your third string quarterback and you play as well as you did. Obviously, give it up to the defense. You got a lot of playmakers, but Purdy came in and did what he was supposed to do. So in my eyes, hey, what have you done for me lately? And you saw that San Francisco 49ers team when he got injured. Yep. Shit didn't look good.
At all.
It didn't look good. So for me, it will be Purdy number 1. Obviously, I think Trey Lance is one of them tough situations. You get injured. But
bad. It was bad. We shall see. Jimmy G they say he's gonna be a free agent. So he's gonna be out of there. I think new league year starts March 15th. So
yeah, next week.
About a week out. But you got the Niners number 1. That roster, that roster. A lot of people had them going to the Super Bowl. Hated how that season ended on championship weekend. Obviously, they're gonna have to pay Nick Bosa pretty soon. Had one of the best defense in the league, probably wire to wire. Obviously lost their DC, lost some other position coaches. So we'll see if they can continue to thrive. They did get Steve Wilkes over there though.
Shout out.
Who we know can dial it up, but good stuff, man. Good stuff. The Jets, according to Diana ESPN, Diana Rossini, the Jets are optimistic that they are on the brink of landing Aaron Rodgers. This is on the heels of Jets owner Woody Johnson flying across the country, sitting down, meeting with Aaron Rodgers. The Packers gave him permission to do this with the Jets. Jets, man, you think they land A-Rod number 1 and then number 2? If they do, where does that put the Jets kind of in that AFC hierarchy right now with Aaron Rodgers as their quarterback?
Oh man, do they land Aaron Rodgers? I think they got a good opportunity. I think they got a good chance.
I do too. Sure.
I think they got a good chance, man. Obviously, you got to figure out where Aaron's head is at. And then the Packers, they feel comfortable. Like, look, if you stay, cool. If you go, cool. I think they're at peace at whatever happens.
Yeah. I kind of feel like they might be ready to move on too.
Yeah, that's why I say I think they feel. I think on one side they feel like, okay, he's an all-time great. Green Bay great. So we want to be able to part ways and do it right by him. And I respect that. I respect that. I respect both sides. If they be like, yo, Aaron, we done with you, man. We about to go with the young boy. I can respect that too. You know what I'm saying? Yep. But I can honestly respect, what Green Bay is doing right now. I think the Jets do have a good shot at landing them. And if they do, I have the Jets. They got a good young team. I think if you look at their games last year, if they had a competent quarterback, I think they win a few of those games that they lost. So you look at the AFC East, right? You got the Jets, you got the Dolphins, you have the Patriots, and who I'm missing?
The Bills.
And the Bills, right? So
the Buffalo Bills.
I have them above the Patriots, not knowing what's going to happen with Tua. If Tua's there, I don't know. I might have them above your Dolphins too, D-Butt.
Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. And even when this Lamar thing came on, I'm like, hey, man, the Dolphins, because I wasn't sure if we had the assets or not. We don't have a first-round pick this year, so we can't get the sweepstakes just yet. But if I had the opportunity to get Lamar Jackson down here as a quarterback in Miami Dolphins, I want that. And I think a lot of Dolphin fans feel the same way. and it's not because of Tua's play, but obviously, you start getting dinged like that. It's his health. It's his health, man. You mentioned it earlier. You're taking judo classes, trying to, to fall right. Like, bro, we know how this game goes. Like, you're gonna get hit, you're gonna get banged up, you're gonna get your bell rung. Unfortunately, that's just a part of the game.
Yeah.
But once you get to the position where, every time your teammate or your quarterback or whoever is getting hit, that you like, is he getting up? How is he getting up? Like, you don't feel confident about that. I wouldn't feel confident about that if I'm in that front office and I got to pick up that 50-year option, or I got to sign him to a deal that's going to guarantee him north of $150 million. So because of his ability to stay healthy, I'm concerned with Tua. Obviously, you look at the Buffalo Bills, losing Leslie Frazier. Is their window closed? Have they missed their window? If you're the Buffalo Bills, Jets, they look like they're primed and ready. Now, I don't think Aaron Rodgers is a long-term answer, but that defense under Salah looked damn good last year with a lot of young bucks. Offensively, a lot of bright spots on that offense. Breece Hall, who ended last year early with an injury. Garrett Wilson, offensive rookie of the year. He's unbelievable at wide receiver. So you plug and play Aaron Rodgers in there, I think they got a damn good shot of winning this division.
They got to do whatever they got to do to get that man to NY, yo.
And it'll be, I'm assuming, a year. I doubt he plays another 2 or 3 with how every offseason has been going for him.
Yeah, but, I think it will be a 2-year deal. And then, the 1 year be, guaranteed after, they'll just see what that second year, what comes off. But
yeah,
like you say, man, they able to get that done.
That'd be a good deal. The dream scenario for them would be Aaron Rodgers come in, they make a run this year, and Zach Wilson, who they spent their number 2 pick on a couple years ago, and it has not panned out at all. Zach Wilson sits behind Aaron Rodgers for a year, and it's the guy that people were comparing Zach fucking Wilson to, coming out of college, coming out of BYU. He sits behind him for a year, he learns a ton, and then he steps in the following year, and he's the guy that they thought he was going to be coming out of BYU. That's the dream scenario for the New York Jets and their fans, but we shall see how that plays out. We all got dreams.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wake up.
Oh, man.
But according to Diana Rossini, the Jets are close. They feel like they're about to land them. And to your point, I think the Packers are probably ready to move on as well. See what they got in Jordan Love, man. See what they got in Jordan Love, their first round pick a couple years ago.
Man.
Some more breaking news out of NFL yesterday, I believe.
Yeah. Did you read his I read his where was that I read that on?
Was it an uninterrupted?
I think so.
Players Tribune?
It was one of them, but I read that yesterday, man, and it was really good just to kind of hear Calvin really just talk about, his mindset, where he was mentally going through Players Tribune. If y'all want to get a good read, definitely go there. Calvin really just talking about his situation, dealing with his injuries, where he was mentally, dealing with anxiety. But a very good read, man. I'm happy that he was able to take full accountability of what he did. And now he's able to, go to a Jaguars team that I was big on last year. And to add him to, you got Trevor Lawrence, you got Christian Kirk, Evan Ingram. They just franchised. So just to put him in with ETN, put him in the mix over there in Jayville. What they got brewing with a young team, man, it could be scary.
Yeah, could be. I'm happy for him. I didn't get a chance to read it. Or what did he kind of go into? I just saw the one maybe titled headline or sentence saying like, hey, I effed up. I made the biggest mistake of my life betting on football. Yeah. But what else was it in the article kind of besides that? It's South Florida kid. Obviously, I'm rooting for Calvin Ridley to get back out there and pick up right where he left off.
So he talked about his injury. He talked about his injury, how he was able, he was dealing with an injury, an ankle injury, and how he was just taking to it all. He was taking the drugs, and how he was trying to do any and everything to get out there on the field. And he was like, at some point, he was trying to get the doctors to tell him what was going on. He ended up going to another doctor, and the doctor was telling him, like, look, like, it was an ankle or foot. Like, hey, it is broken. You know what I mean? So dealing with that. So, just having some trust issues with some of the medical folks in the building. Then talking about, after a game, pulling up to a house, and the neighbors all in front of his house with police cars, and somebody coming into his house while they was at the game and robbed his crib, and being able to look at the cameras and seeing that, 5 people came into the crib, guns drawn. So then just having to deal with that, and then with with his wife, and he got a wife, I think his daughter. So just thinking about when he leaves the house, are they okay? So it was just a lot that he had to deal with mentally. And then when he got hurt, not when he got hurt, he got suspended. He was just in a dark place, wouldn't come out the room, just sitting on the couch, and started getting into depression. So again, it's just a story where you can kind of really see, what was going on with him. Because a lot of times as, viewers, we want to see the game. We want to see the guys go out there and play. And then when they walk off the field, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, well, we'll see him next Sunday, but not understanding like what these guys are going through. And, you've been through it yourself. So again, just to read that, it was really eye-opening. And like I said, like, one thing I appreciate the most is when man or woman can take accountability when they messed up. And that's the first thing that he said. He said, look, I made the biggest mistake. I'll learn from that. So again, man, I hope his return is a great return. He goes out and ball, man, and have a hell of a season.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, man. I didn't know a lot of that. I'm definitely gonna tap in. I've seen the article, be on my Twitter timeline a couple of times. Just didn't click on to read it, but definitely gonna do that, man. And glad he is, going getting the opportunity to do what he loves and do what he grew up doing. That's playing football and playing at the highest level. You talked about the team on the field that he will be joining. And I know they're excited about him too. Should you make a trade for somebody while they're suspended, you obviously got some plans for him for the future, man. I think he came out and said, hey, I got $1,400 a year playing with Trevor Lawrence, man. So we'll be looking forward to it. And hopefully he is, doing the right things off the field to help him continue to navigate that stuff. Like you said, we all see it as viewers now, or members of the media and stuff, and say, we cover these guys as players, as players. Hey, that's Calvin Ridley of the Jacksonville Jaguars. That's Lamar Jackson of the Baltimore Ravens. That's so-and-so, whatever team. But obviously these are humans, young humans at that, young adults that's dealing with a lot of different things off that field. So hopefully, everything start panning out better for my guy C Red, man.
And G.I. Joe 317, AB, you feel confident about the Jaguars next season? Yes, I do. But then I always say this, as a young team, having success, how can you come back from having success? I think Doug Peterson, I think he's a good coach. I think hopefully he can, corral the guys in the locker room. You get good leadership in that locker room, where guys can be like, hey, look, we fell short. We still got some things that we can get done, some things we can improve on. But I am confident. I am confident, man. You see, last year, they started off hot, kind of fell off, midway through the season. Then they hit a hot streak, going into the playoffs. So I think they are on everybody's radar this year. So they're not going to be sneaking up on anybody. So they're going to be getting everybody best shot.
I don't know what the odds are right now, or if they even put them out. But should they be the favorites to win that AFC South?
Yes.
They should be the favorites.
Yes.
What if we go and get C.J. Stroud out there in Indy?
I think they should still be the favorite.
All right, just checking your temp. Just see where you at. Yeah, I think they should be a favorite. I mean, Doug Peterson did an unbelievable job last year Caldwell did a solid job with that defense. And we only expect them to get better. It was better. A lot of young pieces on both sides of the football out there. So it'll be interesting to see if the Jacksonville Jaguars can sustain some success. They feel like they got their guy quarterback. There was a lot of question marks about Trevor Lawrence after his rookie year, but last year he made some great leaps and bounds, man. Coaching matters. Coaching matters.
For sure. Say that again.
A lot, man. And before we get to these last couple of things, you want to do this read? We got this read that came through for FanDuel on the Hills to talk about Calvin Ridley being reinstated for his same game parlays. He was put 11, 15, 10-leggers. He my kind of gambler, man. But
man, send me the read, man. Oh, matter of fact, there it go right there. Hey, this March, take your first shot at college hoops with FanDuel Sportsbook and get 10 times your first bet amount in bonus bets up to $200. That's right. Just bet $20 on the bracket and you'll land $200 in bonus bets, win or lose. That's $200 you can spend betting everything from the money line, the point spreads, to the 5 versus 12 seed matchup you've been on. And for everybody, we always know that 5 versus 12, that's where the upsets come at. Yeah. All on the app that's safe, secure, and super easy to use. There's no better place to bet the tournament than the #1 sports book, FanDuel. Sign up today by going to FanDuel.com/M2M Live. There you go. And make every moment more with FanDuel. All tournament long. And D-Bo, while we talking about it, and Tone in the background, should we do a man-to-man bracket this year? Are we gonna have time to do that?
Why not? I can't wait to act like I know what the hell going on in college basketball. I couldn't tell you 5 teams in it right now. But when does March Madness start? I know it's March 9th.
They're doing the tournaments now, so you know.
Like when the real
doing the tournaments, at the league tournaments. I was there's been some good tournaments too, some good games on. Okay. I know the MEAC tournament is this weekend. Shout out to Howard. We won the regular season MEAC championship. We got our first win last night against South Carolina State. But yeah, I'm gonna be guessing on the live if we do a bracket.
All right. I know as long as my Huskies in there, I gotta have them going.
They still got a basketball team,
and at least.
I mean, I ain't really heard. I know the women.
We started off this season hot to in the Mid-South.
Want to know?
We was like low key, we was top 5, top 3 at one point. Then we kind of fell off. But I'm gonna have us right. I know UNC is your squad.
Yeah,
but we're gonna figure. I know Bama got a squad. Alabama got a basketball squad, which is
UNC some mid this year.
Yeah. So Man Pod, March 16th, 17th is when it starts. So right before St. Patty's Day and right before my birthday. So definitely gonna be in it. Selection Sunday is this Sunday.
Y'all ranked 11, D-Buck.
Yeah, hey, come on, man. Stop playing. You sound surprised. They got no UConn shit around.
Nah, you don't got no UConn stuff in there. I'm definitely surprised.
You sound surprised, man. Of course.
Man, I didn't know that.
Yeah, we might make a run, man. UNC struggling. Purdue
struggling.
On fire. Who else?
Purdue got a nice little mile. He lost. I think they lost. Did they lose to Indiana? Indiana. Mike Wilson got Indiana rocking a little bit. Purdue. Like you said, Bama.
Let me go check something out real quick. Just there's a lot. This is what happens before you go into these tournaments. Who are the 1 seeds? All right, so we got last 4 buys. I don't know what that means. Actually, you know what? 68.
Who will be the first 4 in right now?
I'm looking at what I at least see on ESPN as the 68 team bracket. We got Kansas as 1 seed. We got Alabama as another 1 seed. Houston as a 1 seed, and then UCLA as a 1 seed. UCLA is the West
UCLA?
1 seed. UCLA, and on the East, Houston, South Alabama, and then Midwest is Kansas. And then the 2 seeds, real quick, got Purdue on the South bracket, Arizona on the Midwest bracket, Texas. Oh, I didn't know Texas is still balling. On the West bracket, and then Baylor on the East bracket. So those are your top, I guess, 8 overall seeds, at least that they're projecting right now, because we got Selection Sunday this Sunday.
My bracket would have been shot up if I yeah, but I mean, hey, you know, the one thing about March Madness about this time, man, the Cinderella teams being able to go out here and make runs, teams you never heard about, guys and women you never heard about coming out and having games of their lives, man.
Yeah, right.
I love to see it, man. Shout out my guy Tim Smith, man. I always remember, man. Went to my high school, went to East Tennessee State, and they made it to the tournament. They played Cincinnati. That's when they had James White in them, man. My guy showed out, man. Shout out to Tim, man.
James White was a dog. I remember that. His dunk contest, he was doing windmills and 360s from the free throw line.
Yeah.
This was years and years ago. So 1-foot jumper, too. So y'all go back and check that James White mixtape out. That shit was crazy.
We ain't talk about the dunk contest, because that was one of we was off.
Yeah, we was off.
We ain't talk about the dunk contest. What was your thoughts?
Long did that. I mean, it's impressive. I was more entertained than I expected to be.
Yeah.
Because of the lack of superstars being in it. And you ask me, that, you know, that's LeBron's fault. I feel like everybody before LeBron, every face of the league or potential face of the league, they went and they did that. Whether it was MJ or Nick or Kobe or whoever it was, they went and did that at least once. So when LeBron came in and didn't do it, I feel like a lot of the other stars that came after him feel like shit, they don't have to do it either. So I feel like it's kind of hurt them, you know, the All-Star weekend at least a little bit. The actual game was terrible.
Doo-doo.
You know, as far as effort and defense, stuff like that. But Mac McClung, even though he was just coming up from the G League, I don't know if he's still in the league at this point. He put on the show.
Got them 100 racks.
Yeah, that was impressive. I think he signed a shoe deal after that.
Puma?
He had a nice little run right there. So better yourself, take advantage of your opportunities. All the lights were on him. It was shine on him, and I feel like he dominated that night from start to finish. That was impressive. What was your thoughts on the old dunk contest?
Yeah, I mean, besides him, it was doo-doo. No, I mean, for real, if he wasn't in it, that dunk contest was some trash.
Facts.
Like, you know, like you said, like, you know, he had an opportunity on the main stage to show people what, you know. I think if you kind of watch him like previous years when he was younger, like what he was able to do, like, you know, he's always kind of been like an internet sensation where he got buddies, he can dunk or whatever, go viral. But nah, in my honest opinion, besides him, man, that joint was weak.
Yeah. Boo. That one, I had secondhand embarrassment for somebody. They went up there and he jumped, put his elbow in the rim.
He grabbed the net.
Grabbed the net, put his joint in the rim, grabbed the paper ready, trying to.
Yeah.
I said,
but then after that, they showed like, you know, the guys on the bench and then the crowd and how they reacted to it.
Everybody like.
Yeah.
But that was the thing with Mac too. I feel like, I want to say he made every dunk on the first attempt, which is kind of, you know, you going up there and you miss a couple, it's kind of hard to get that crowd. So every time, first time went up there, and then hit the fact, obviously he's white, but the fact he was kind of short too. I want to say 6'1", 6'2", and jumping and doing that shit like that. Shit was impressive. A lot of people probably, you know, didn't watch or turned off by it because of the lack of superstar names. You know, no Ja Morant or Anthony Edwards, or, you know, those are the guys that typically over the years they're gonna get at least one. You know what I mean?
That would be dope, man. Having them Anthony Edwards, Ja.
Yeah,
that should be tough. G.I. Joe got some questions today. No, I cannot dunk like DB can.
All right, so AB being honest, AB the harder hitter too. So I guess we can both be honest. I can't hit like AB. He can't jump like me. All right, we all got our own gifts.
We got our own thing, baby. Hey, while we talking about the NBA, before we took it to the other side at the beginning of the show, man, we was talking about the little banter between JJ Redick and Kendrick Perkins, talking about the NBA.
I stated the facts.
Talking about the NBA voting is racially biased because Jokic is, I guess he's leading right now. This would be 3 times that he would win the award. And then I think it was this morning, ESPN, Molly and them, they had to come out and was like, you ain't see that?
Oh, I ain't see that.
They came out and was like, hey, look, it was some talk on here. Kendrick Perkins said X, Y, and Z. They was like ESPN, they went back and did some research and said that is not true. It goes to show. So that's when you know
they debunked
they debunked Kendrick Perkins. They debunked. That's when you know. That's when you know it was shit, because there's been a lot of false information that be on that show, but they never come back. Well, I ain't gonna say for the most part, they never come back. I've seen Stephen A. a couple of times say, "Hey, look, I said this yesterday," but for the most part. For the most part, that was a little weird to me when I looked at that.
That's very, very odd, because obviously it's an opinion-based show.
Facts.
And you come on their opinions. And I want to say JJ Redick kind of prefaced whatever statements he had by saying, like, hey, Stephen A., respect the hell out of you. Honored to be on your show. But this is the problem with this show, is because you put these narratives. That's what the show is. That's what a lot of daytime studio television is when it comes to sports. So for Perk to have his opinion, and I'm sure he has. I didn't even hear Perk's full opinion. I didn't hear his stats or whatever to back it up.
Yeah.
But I know, we grew up watching I feel like some of the best NBA. And we know Kobe. What did Kobe have? 1 MVP?
Yeah, and I was just kind of going through it, and people was they started talking about that, like what Steve Nash, like NBA should go back. They owe Kobe like 2, and then it was a run for real with LeBron. In my eyes, he could have won that shit
8, 9
years in a row. You know what I'm saying? So I think where Kendrick Perkins went totally wrong when he tried to give a percentage number. Like 80% is X, Y, and Z. So then they went back and said, well, no, it's actually 60% and 25% and 15% here. You know what I'm saying? Where all he could have said was whatever, you know what I mean, to argue his point. But to your point, I love the banter. That's what it's about. You know what I mean? Kendrick got his opinion. JJ has his opinion. Mm-hmm. Not saying that either one of them are right or wrong, but that's what you like to see, instead of having this scripted shit like, okay, this is what we're gonna talk about, this is what you're gonna say, boom, this, that, and the third, or whatever the case may be. But
they both played. They both played a long time in the league, so you gotta respect their opinions, whether you agree with it or disagree with it, you gotta respect it. And people always say they want locker room talk, or they want to hear locker room banter. That's what it is right there. Sometimes, if you feel like you're wrong or somebody hit you with some more facts, I stated the facts.
Mm-hmm.
I stated the fact. So Joker, his numbers have been unbelievably impressive. Greek Freak, Joel Embiid, I feel like year after year, these last couple years at least, they all been deserving of the MVP award. And a lot of people are going to look at Joker if he wins his 3rd in a row and be like, bro, 3 in a row. But me personally, I feel like every year's got to be its own year. Every year. And if I feel like the Nuggets, what are they, the 1 seed right now?
Who was that?
Maybe the Nuggets. Are they the 1 seed or they up there? But they're doing well. And it's a regular season award. Let me not get AB the line. Let me see the standings right now. See where the Nuggets are. Nuggets are the 1 seed right now. So 46-20, and then I believe Joker is averaging like a triple-double. Analytics wise, it always gives him the edge. If you look at the eye test and all those other things, I think Embiid could have won it last year. So same thing with Greek Freak and what they do on the defensive side of the ball, I think should be accounted for as well. So I'm sure it's some truth to both sides of their arguments. I didn't hear all the Perks argument. I didn't hear all the JJ Redick's arguments, but it's definitely entertaining to see the banter. But that recanting that, taking that, or trying to debunk Perks' take or Perks' opinion or something, not a fan of that on First Take. This ain't.
Here it go right here.
Oh, wow.
ESPN publicly corrected First Take panelist, former NBA center Kendrick Perkins, following his notion that NBA MVP voters are predominantly white, which has led to Denver Nuggets star Nikola Jokic winning multiple MVP awards. Co-host Molly Karam began Wednesday's episode of the popular sports debate show with the statement correcting Perkins' comments on Tuesday that 80% of NBA MVP voters were white, claiming it was a fact. I want to correct something here from yesterday's show. Karam started off when Kendrick Perkins said 80% of NBA voters for the MVP award are white. The NBA publicly announces the voters each year, and after review, it is clear the panel is much more diverse than what was portrayed by Kendrick Perkins, and we wanted to make sure we corrected that today.
Okay, I would be interested once again. JJ Redick, they're entitled to their own opinion. You do if you come and state facts or percentages, now this doesn't go for everything else. Obviously, what we've seen in the history of this country, but sports, we got a scoreboard, we got the numbers. I would like to know the breakdown of the voters, the MVP voters. I don't know who they are, how they look, how many black, how many white, former players. I feel like all the former MVPs, that are still living and still around should have a vote or have a say-so in that. So I'll be interested to see the breakdown of who is voting. But yeah, I think for the most part, when you get this MVP award, it's going to be everybody's going to have their opinion on it, and it's going to be at least 2 or 3 candidates that are worthy of winning it. And somebody wins it 3 times in a row, a lot of people are going to look at it and say, hey, was he hands down the best? I feel like LeBron, Greek Freak had a stretch. Steph even maybe could have had a stretch. It's tough being in the same leagues. Kobe, Shaq. Like those are the players just that jumped in my mind that I would say, okay, definitely watching basketball over these years, they could have definitely been, MVP 3 times in a row. But Joker, man, he's dominant. He fills up the stat sheet every night, and the team is winning too. So it's not like he's getting all these numbers and they some shit. So I think he's deserving, as anybody else, up in that category to win it. But
for sure, it was just interesting to me when I saw this morning that Molly and them they recanted. So
very interesting.
I'm here for it though.
Absolutely. Speaking of the NBA, championship odds, outright betting according to the FanDuel Sportsbook, #1 sportsbook in America. The Bucks right now are tied with the Boston Celtics as the betting favorites to win the NBA title this year. They're both at plus 320. The Phoenix Suns are plus 440. Denver Nuggets plus 700. Golden State Warriors and 76ers plus 1,500 and plus 1,600 respectively. Then you got the Grizzlies after that. But right now, where AB putting his money right now to win it?
Woo! I'm going to go with the...
Right now, March 9th.
I would not... For some reason, I'm not feeling the Bucks or the Celtics.
Damn.
Not winning the chip for some reason. Then, KD almost tore his shit up last night in pregame.
I saw that, KD. What you got going on?
Yeah. Who would I go with? I'm gonna go with this. I'll go with the Suns.
You still going with the Suns? Don't fall for it. Say something, man. Retract.
Hey, look, I'm going with the Suns, man.
That's crazy. There is not a bone in me that believes the Suns. You put together Chris Paul, Devin Booker, and Kevin Durant. They've all had their issues when the playoff comes or the moment gets big. And so I don't think you put them all together and they're going to all get like, come on, man. Health issues. Chris Paul get hurt every
What you asked me, D-Buck?
KD, come on.
What did you ask me?
Book, we done seen Book fold
what
too
did
many
you,
times when them lights get
D-Buck,
bright.
what did you ask me?
You go ahead. You donate your money to
what
to
did you ask me?
Sportsbook.
You asked me who would I
Who would you
pick
put your 100? So you would bet your 100 to get your plus 440 on the Phoenix Suns?
I would go to Suns. Now I'm gonna ask you. Now this will be your time to argue who would you put your $100 on?
Give me the Bucks. Give me the Bucks. I think the Bucks are deep right now. I think I've seen Greek Freak do it. I've seen him take over a playoff run. I've seen him take over a finals, dominate and win it. I would go with the Bucks on the East. Give me a Bucks-Warriors matchup. Warriors right now plus 1,500. Steph just got back into the lineup. I think they're going to get healthy. They're going to hit the ground running right to the playoffs. So Bucks-Warriors will be in the finals. And if I had to pick a winner, damn, do I pick the Bucks over the Warriors? Give me the Warriors running it back. Fuck it, I switch shit. Give me the Warriors right now plus 1,500. Yeah, give me the Warriors plus 1,500.
You talking yourself into it.
Yeah. Did you watch Draymond?
Yeah, I ain't watched all of it. I've seen some snippets.
Oh yeah, I'm
talking about Dylan Brooks.
Hey, Ethan, and that was a conversation in my group chat too, because I always, for some reason, in my group chats, I think even on this show, I've had to defend Draymond Green a few times, because a lot of people always coming out, hey, you know, if he wasn't in the Warriors, he would be. If the fifth, we all be drunk. He got drafted to the Warriors, second round pick, I believe. Defensive player of the year. Always been a great contributor, team player, both sides of the ball, 4-time champion.
So what's your argument?
Hall of Famer, Draymond Green. And stop disrespecting Dre. That's my argument right there. Stop disrespecting Dre. Yes, he's playing with two of the best shooters ever. But in basketball, in team sports, you need teams. That means you need stars, you need coaches, you need role players. And I think Draymond Green will go down as one of the greatest role players of all time. So put some respect on that man's name, especially Dylan Brooks. Yeah, that's all I got to say on it.
Word. You heard D-Buck, man. Draymond Green, a future Hall of Famer. I agree with you on all-time greatest role player. Probably
don't agree with the Hall of Fame.
He'll probably be like the number 1, number 2 pick.
You know, Hall of Fame, it factors in all of your basketball accomplishments post high school, I believe.
Yeah, I mean
that's collegiate. That's Olympics. You
don't
think that should be? You go and win a gold medal? You don't think that should go on you?
I mean, what college got to do with your NBA? If you in the NBA Hall of Fame, I want to just talk about strictly NBA. NBA Hall of Fame. I want to what you done while you were in the NBA, when you were playing those NBA games. That's me. I mean, that's my opinion. I can care less. Say it again.
It's the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame. I could be wrong about that too. I just be saying shit.
No, I mean, I think it is. I thought the NBA had its own. Teach me something. It's Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame.
I think it's just the Basketball Hall of Fame. I don't think the NBA has their own, because you think about a guy like Yao Ming. Yao Ming, he didn't have a.
Corrected there.
Yeah. So it's the basketball. So yeah, I think if you go and you contribute to the game of basketball around the world, you win a couple gold medals, you maybe win a natty, maybe a college basketball player of the year or something like that. Yeah.
Man, I don't know about. I think they should separate that. I think you should have
NBA. They had it on. I mean, I think that's fair.
I think
it's been around a while.
I think.
Yeah, man. Let's get to a couple of these questions before we get up out of here, man. It's from the great Tone at the Tone Gordon. When watching football movies, do you ever get mad with how bad the football looks or how wrong they get it? Also, worst football you've seen in the movie that got the closest to looking right.
Yeah, you kind of messed me up at the end reading that joint. I kind of got lost.
When watching football movies, do you ever get mad with how bad the football looks?
Got my man D-Buck reading out loud.
Also, the worst football you've seen in a movie and the movie that got it closest to looking quote unquote right, ? Hashtag M2M Live. And that is from our great producer, Tone. So I give you my top 3 favorite football movies real quick. Friday Night Lights, A Program, Any Given Sunday. I think they all got the football right in those movies, which I believe is a big part of it. The one thing, and it's not a movie, but it was a show on Netflix, and the football was so bad I had to stop watching it.
The Game?
Nah. All American.
Oh.
It wasn't NFL football, but I just remember Buddy either running around or somebody. I'm like, bro, like this scene alone, I can't watch. I can't support this shit. I can't watch this shit.
Yeah, his route running was horrible. But on my top 3, I'm gonna give Remember the Titans, and then I had The Program, and I had Any Given Sunday. So those are my top 3. Huh?
How close do you feel Any Given Sunday? And obviously, there was a completely different time now. But how close did you feel like watching that movie? And then I believe that was before you went to the league. And then going into the league, how close was the movie? How good did they get it?
So I think they got it good. Where you like, I'm not gonna say spot on, but they got it good when you're thinking about like off the field, right? Off the field shit, like front office type stuff. And then like the locker room, like the personalities. You got the locker room dynamics. You got guys that I'm the man. Nah, I'm the man. You know what I'm saying? So I think they were really close in that Now
go ahead and say the word. Go ahead. That what? Go ahead. Whoop his ass, words.
hey, get back there, mug, right?
Motherfucker be waiting. In that what, motherfucker?
But no, I feel like they were close, not spot on, but they were really close as far as depicting the off the field and the locker room dynamic.
I agree 100%. They got it pretty damn good, even from the coaches, like you said, the front office stuff. Good speech too. I felt that was a real good speech. And that was Pacino, obviously, and Jamie Foxx, LL. Yeah. Funny story from that. My high school football coach, who played collegiately, played a little bit in the league, but my high school football coach, Otis Mounds, he actually coached my little brother in college too, at Akron. He was LL Cool J's like stunt double as a running back. And he was also another player, in the locker room on it. And so I remember when the story came out about the Jamie Foxx and LL Cool J actually fighting, like and like for real in the scene. That shit was it's a good story. But Any Given Sunday was a great movie. I felt like they got it really close. I feel like the program was good too. Program was good. They got a lot of things close there too.
And especially during that time. So like during that time and what was kind of like prevalent in the locker room and what some guys were kind of dabbling in. So like that kind of played a part. So
first team defense. Oh yeah. What was it called? The linebacker? I can start with a B.
Vladimir.
No, Matt, was it Alvin Matt? He just twisted the bank, fucked his knee up. Trying to get small crib. That was good ass movie, man. Any Given Sunday, you mentioned Friday Night Lights. Great football movies, but you didn't. What about your bad where the football was so bad where you couldn't any of those?
I can't think of nothing off the top of my head.
All right. Let's see what else we got. G.I. Joe 317. Welcome back, fam. After a good #NFL Combine, many players are getting ready for their pro day. Can you recollect your nerves about the whole process? What did your agent do to help you prepare for this whole opportunity? And what was the weirdest question you were asked?
Man, I would say my combine experience, I really didn't know what to expect. I know we had Ron Bartell. He got drafted in the second round the year before me. He went to the combine. So just asking him questions, but still, you know, it's a little different for everybody. Early mornings, late nights. I think my biggest thing coming from Howard was like, you know, I was sizing everybody up in the safety. In the safety crew. You know, Dante Whitner, Jason. Now there was just a lot of guys I'm just sizing up. Like, yo, like I belong. So for me, man, it was just like go out there and do your thing. Had a good combine, and then for me, the pro day, I didn't do any other. I didn't run 40. I didn't do the vert. I didn't bench press. I just did position drills. So after the
combine numbers,
yeah, I was good
about that combine.
Yeah. So for me, man, it was like after the combine, I was like, it was a little bit. I could drop my shoulders a little bit, but it was still time. Like, yo, I still gotta go out here. I still gotta go do what I do, man. So yeah, you learn a lot about yourself in those type moments too. You know, as far as preparation, am I ready? Did I prepare good? How am I? You know, I was never concerned about how I was gonna perform when the lights come on. But again, man, you just learn a lot about, you know, who you are as a person.
Yeah, same, man. Didn't really know what to expect that combine. Didn't expect it to be as, you know, long and drawn out as it was. I didn't bench at the combine. I think that might have been the only thing I didn't do. And you had to be on that stage for all the bunch of the GMs and the coaches or whatever. And I told the strength coach, you know, he was like, you know, anybody, you know, not benching, you had to like raise your hand and kind of say why. Probably 4 or 5 of us. Most guys had a shoulder or a pec or something. And I was just like, you know, I'm gonna bench at my pro day, which was like a month after the combine. I had a nice little break, but I wasn't comfortable where I was on the bench. I said, I'm just not gonna bench. So he like, all right, well, you go and tell all those guys why you're not benching today. So tried to put me on the spot or whatever. So I went and obviously just told him. But did that. Definitely wasn't happy with my time. I think I ran like a 4.41 at the combine. So ran again at pro day. Improved on the time. Put on a little bit of weight. And we had
what you run at the pro day?
Between 4.32, 4.37. Like that was my range. You know, everybody always got their own times. All the teams got their own times, and they try to keep it close to the vest as possible for whatever reason. But those were the times. That was the range I got. And the agent, you know, they try to keep you abreast of everything, try to limit and manage your expectations as much as possible. Because at that time, I don't know about you, but I was reading everything that was covered out. Anybody that had an article about and ranking the corners, I was reading that motherfucker. Pro Football Scout or whatever that site was, Draft Scout, I think it was called. I was on that thing every day trying to see where I was ranked. Yeah. And I still didn't do my bench press at the pro day, but I did a wide receiver workout, did a DB workout. We had a lot of scouts there because we had Donald Brown, Will Beatty, Cody Brown. All 4 of us went first and second round. So it's a big deal. It's a big, like you say, you find out a lot about yourself, man. Everything you think is going to happen is going to be different, even up until draft day. And it's a long, drawn-out process. But for me, I was ready for it. It's something you look forward to your entire life. It's something that, you know, I always believed it would happen, but it's just different when it's actually there, and these different things are actually. It's like, wow, I was trying to live in those moments, but it was awesome, man.
No doubt, man. I got to slide, man.
Yeah, man. Appreciate y'all, man. Y'all get y'all 30 minutes. We went an extra 30 today. But great, man. Glad to be back on this March 9th, Thursday. Remember using that hashtag or using that code at fanduel.com/M2M Live. We're obviously presented to you by FanDuel Sportsbook, the Man-to-Man Pod. We'll be back on Monday.
Yes, sir. Y'all be safe. Good weekend.
Y'all be safe. Show up on Monday in a little bit better shape than you in right now. We gone.
Darius Butler. Intercepted.
All right. We going, good people.